Ramble.
Thank you to Uncommon Goods, Canva, and Boll and Branch for sponsoring today's episode.
We stay spooky all year long. That's right, motherfuckers. Welcome to Guilty Pleasures, the show that loves what it loves. Guys, today we're talking about a show that is near and dear to Garrick's heart. I don't know that we could call it a guilty pleasure. This is just something that is in him, is part of him. He's been begging us to watch it, to discuss it. And you know what? This is our podcast. So we can do whatever the hell we want. What's up? I'm Zach. What's up, Kelsey? What's up, Garrick? How you feeling today?
All right. I feel great. I feel great that you guys
I should say, we're watching Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah.
We promised you.
Yeah.
I feel very grounded because of the subject matter.
Yeah, great.
You know, Dune last week was fucking off the wall. Drag Me to Hell before was like chaos. I feel very neutral today.
Yeah, great.
I tried to dress in the colors that I thought the characters would be.
There it is. I love that. You're staying on theme.
Earthy.
We got green, we got orange, we got all of the pumpkin colors. There you go.
Garrick's got a Bowie on his lap.
People loved the Rick and Bowie relationship.
Well, we have a nice
week.
little romance going on, and this is my fucking boy.
Is it sexual?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
No, I will say Garrick has this this desire deep inside of him for Bowie to be a dog that he can scare and play with.
Yeah.
And so every time Garrick comes into the office, he tries to surprise Bowie. Bowie doesn't like that.
No, he's not into it at all. He's not into it.
Highly sensitive.
Today he banged against the glass while Bowie was sleeping and had his face pressed up against the glass with a demonic smile. What do you think my dog did?
Freaked the fuck out.
Oh, he certainly did.
Yeah, he did.
Rick, did you grow up with dogs?
No.
That's why.
This
is very revealing.
I feel like you had one friend's dog who was a little rascal, and you're trying to recapture that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, get over here. Think about
What was
whole
it?
thing. that exact noise.
Do
That's what I do.
voiceover work? Because I feel like you should.
Yeah.
Are you going to start doing character voiceover cartoon work?
Would love to.
Is there a cartoon listening right now? Are there any cartoons out there listening? Because I want in.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I be student number 2?
You can be
on a show.
The main character of any.
I don't need that
Cartoon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't need
With
that.
his voice?
Yeah. No, Zach has a voice for voiceover 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
You're shocked, Kelsey?
Just entertain the guilty whores a little bit.
Okay.
Let me get your best character coming home from school and saying something zany to his mom.
Well, I think Garrick is saying that I don't need to put on a voice, that my voice is already
Yeah, that's what
cartoon.
I'm saying. Give me
do I
like,
have a zany catchphrase?
Boy yoy yoy.
Okay. So it's that kind of show. All right, cool. Oh boy, Mom, that was a crazy day at school. Boy, yoy, yoy.
Yeah.
You on board?
Your mom
I'm
might
on
be like,
board.
what the fuck just happened to you?
I'm on board. I'm into it.
Interesting. I think, Rick, can I close my eyes for a moment?
Can you give us your
entertain
boy
me
yoy yoy?
with
No. Oh, God. Okay. Boy, yoy, yoy. Boy, yoy, yoy. Is that it? Would that work for a child?
You would work for
Cool.
voiceover because you'd be like anti-voiceover.
Anti-voiceover the whole time.
We're talking about Over the Garden Wall today,
Yes.
which is a cartoon. It's
Yes.
a miniseries.
Yes,
It's 10
yes.
episodes. They're
Yeah.
10 episodes, or 11 minutes each. You may be thinking, you say, they're doing a cartoon miniseries. You have an image in your head. I want you to take that image and just throw it the fuck away.
Throw it on the ground.
If you have not seen Over the Garden Wall, I had not. Kelsey, you had not.
I hadn't even heard of it.
It is not your average cartoon. I'm going to attempt a very basic synopsis.
Let's do it.
And then I'm going to hand the keys over to you, Garrick, because I want to hear everything.
That's a car reference. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom,
Vroom,
vroom.
vroom.
I want you to put your hand on the joystick. Put it into drive and take me away. Over the Garden Wall follows stepbrothers Wirt and Greg.
They're stepbrothers. See, you weren't even fucking watching the show. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Anyway, please continue.
Stepbros Wirt and Gregory find themselves lost in the unknown, a magical forest filled with different creatures, and they're trying to find their way home. Along the way, they're going to run into a bunch of different characters. They're going to help them with their problems, and they are going to heed the words of the woodsman and avoid the dreaded beast.
And they got a bird friend.
With the help of their talking bird friend,
Thank you.
Aunt Adelaide. And for one
No,
episode...
Beatrice.
Adelaide.
I was
Beatrice.
fucking watching.
Adelaide is
Who
the
wasn't
witch.
watching?
God damn it.
Yeah.
I just love the name Adelaide. Garrick, what the fuck is this thing, man?
Give us what? Give us how and why.
Okay.
What's
so
special
this,
about
so
this?
so I think it's
You're going to
when
have a whole hour, so you don't have to say it all right now.
okay. I think that this
Take a deep breath.
This is truly a masterwork of cartoon. I think that like coming from like the Adventure Time, the regular show world.
This was before or after?
This is after. Okay. Patrick McHale wrote on Adventure Time, and then he went off to write for this. But I just truly believe that this comes from the mind of a child that was read storybooks to fall asleep, and then went out, it did his life, became an animator, and was just like, what if I mix that whole feeling of like falling asleep to a bedtime story with this weird, twisted, and dark sense of humor that I have, and also like 60s cartoons, like 60s fucking Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie style cartoons, where it's just like everybody is singing, everybody is weird. Why is everybody singing? Who cares? It's a cartoon. Like that whole.
This frog plays the bassoon.
The frog plays the bassoon.
He's got a beautiful voice.
He's got a beautiful fucking voice. Wirt Jr. can sing, or all of the presidents.
Andrew Lloyd Webber was the voice?
I'm sorry?
Was it the Phantom of the Opera?
Maybe?
What? You mean Christopher Lloyd?
Who's Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Andrew
Did we
Lloyd?
have this conversation before on this podcast?
Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote musicals.
And who's Christopher
specifically
Lloyd?
Christopher Lloyd
Cats?
is
Who?
Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote Cats.
Okay, and who's Christopher Lloyd?
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown
from Back to the Future.
Oh, I got those confused.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was.
They are not even remotely the same.
Christopher Lloyd was the woodsman.
Green in your
Oh,
teeth.
please help me.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Ooh, these are friends. Thank
God.
you.
Oh.
God, Maggie sometimes wants to pick my boogers, and I'm like, no.
Listen, hold on.
That's
hold
for
on.
me.
Let me make something very clear. I do not want to pick anybody's
She
boogers.
wants to.
Yeah.
There have been situations where I've been like, oh my God, we're in front of people. Let me just.
No. She wants to, and I'm like, that's
absolutely
my
not.
booger. You back off.
Yeah, that's gross.
That one's for me.
This is all gag reflex inducing.
Yeah,
When
you
did
seem
you
really
first
uncomfortable.
discover this series? Like, where were you in your life?
Okay, yeah. So I was. Oh
Bringing
shit.
us back. He unplugged himself.
Yeah, I did.
I feel like I divulge more about my personal life in this show than the tripod, which
That
is what
makes me
that show
happy.
is
Yeah,
about.
disgusting.
Disgusting.
So Neil Mugopadhyay
Neil Wood.
is my roommate and good friend, and he also goes out to like Cartoon Network fucking pitches and all of that stuff, and he heard about the series from those meetings. They're like, yeah, we would love anything like, I don't know, Adventure Time or
More
a
of
short
this.
series or like Over the Garden Wall. That's
Can
pretty
I
much
time
what
out?
we're
This
really
is the
going
most
for.
Garrick fucking thing ever. Where like our guilty pleasure is like, I was a kid and I loved this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Garrick's like, I heard about it in a pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no,
the
I
I want to
real-
sell a fucking
he's
TV
the
show.
From a
real
friend of mine.
Hollywood
I
person
didn't even
here.
pitch. It wasn't even me that
Garrick's
pitched
out
the
here
thing.
trying to sell shows.
Okay,
people.
wait. Can
Not
I
at
tell
all.
you my personal connection to cartoons through Garrick?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I have a very reaction to overly animated things. So like Ren and Stimpy,
Yeah.
like anything where someone's pulling their fucking eyeballs out and they suck back into their head.
Overly animated meaning
Like too much kooky
Beautiful.
chaos.
Okay.
Which is a lot of animation. And I was told many, many moons in a row that I would love Rick and Morty. I would love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And I tried to watch one and somebody sucked their eyeballs out and I was like, absolutely not. And just based off that one interaction, I was like, I'm never watching this fucking show. Please stop trying to convince me otherwise. Then I met Garrick.
Hey.
And I was like, I trust this guy's sense of taste. And he's like an okay person.
Okay.
And he was like, always had these trinkets and things around and would wear the shirts and like the socks or something. And I
Yep.
was like, you know what? I think I'm going to talk to this guy about cartoons.
Yeah.
And we discovered that we have a similar taste in it. I don't know a lot about the other shit you watch, but I figured our humors are
It's
the
just
same.
Succession.
And I went back and I watched every single episode of Rick and Morty all the way through the
Yeah.
entire series.
It's so funny. There are so many people who have that stance of like, I don't do cartoons.
Right.
I
And
know a
then
couple
they-
people, and then you finally break through to them. But it's such a weird, such a
Yeah.
weird stance to take. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's saying like,
I'm not the same
I don't
person.
like
So-
reggae or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking
Reggae.
keep listening to it. I'm
So
thinking of like
this-
music genres. People. I was gonna say country, but that's so
Sure.
trite. So
Yeah.
then I went
Yeah,
somewhere
no,
else.
I hate
This is one of those shows for me,
Yeah.
Over the Garden Wall and Rick and Morty as well, where whenever people say, "Oh, I don't think cartoons are for me. It doesn't make any sense to me," I will always suggest those two because it just Bob's Burgers because they're like, "Oh, well, it's for kids and all that stuff." It's like it's really not. It is just a way that certain people choose to tell stories.
And it's not as, and I don't want to offend anyone, it's not as like dumb, I'm making air quotes, as like a Family Guy or like a Over the Hill kind of situation where it's like you kind of have to be smart.
Yeah,
see, that's how much I don't fucking watch
I was
cartoons.
like Over the Hedge.
Oh, Over the Garden Wall. That's how much I don't watch cartoons. But like you kind of have to be a little bit funny and into comedy to understand the brilliance of this writing.
100%.
And I'll say that is probably the nicest thing I was going to say about this.
All right.
Okay. Well, oh God.
And just to further set the stage, this series is dark.
Yeah.
It is quite adult. It takes its time.
Yeah.
Did I watch the right show?
I don't think so.
Slowly reveals its lore in a way that's quite subtle.
Yeah.
And its comedy is not like laugh out loud, wacky cartoon antics.
No, it's very much the written word. Like there are definitely some refreshing, like Greg lines where I'm like, why the fuck is he? Why the fuck is he talking? There's a part at the end. I think it's like episode 9 where he's like, all right, goodbye, old lady Darlene or something like that, and she's like, please stop calling me old lady. And he was like, okay, young sir, or something like that, or young man.
It's so funny.
It's so...
Can we dive in?
Yeah, please.
I mean, we'll start with my greatest pleasure of pleasure, which is young Greg.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a little boy with a teapot on his head and an obsession for frogs.
Yes.
We meet him listing off a bunch of names, and then he says, those would all be terrible names for this frog. And immediately I'm like, I know you.
Yeah.
I love you. I will die for you.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with that, though, is like this character was so good that it did make me not that interested in the kooky characters that they come along
That's
the
funny.
way of their journey. Because I was
great.
like, this guy, I just want to hear him all the time.
Yeah.
And speaking of hear him,
that
voice.
It's such a good voice. Like
just
such a
talked-
good
Comedic
child.
timing.
Yeah, the timing of
Yeah.
it.
And
is
it's a real
so
kid.
good. It's
Yeah.
of course it's a real kid.
Of course, you fool.
Yeah, nobody's imitating that wonder
Quirkiness.
in his voice.
If you are anything like us, you want to win that best gift ever title this holiday season. We've got that secret sauce for you. It's Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods has just the right gifts for all your loves and likes. We're talking moms and dads and teens and in-laws and besties, your one and only, you name it. Your dog, your cat, your parakeet, you name it. It's not stuff you can find just anywhere. Uncommon Goods has unique and creative gifts, often handmade by independent artists and makers. Okay, no one tell Miles, but I got him this bath kit. They're these calming shower steamers. I want to show him that you can take a calming shower just like you can take a bath. I think he's gonna love it. Okay, no one tell him. They also have uncommon experiences. Choose from live online classes in mixology, cooking, flower arranging, embroidery, and more, handpicked from artists and experts. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/guilty. That's uncommongoods.com/guilty for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
We just talked about, I forget what movie we were talking about voice acting with, Casper.
Yeah.
He just has, this kid has the purest just joy, magic, childhood, wonder, stupidity, but adorable stupidity, like funny without meaning to, but obviously the writing is incredible. I could listen to him for hours.
Yeah,
And honestly, the biggest like tragedy I had at the end of this was looking up when this was made and realizing that little boy's balls have dropped and he's gone to us.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's
Thanks
gone.
for that
Yeah.
imagery.
His balls have descended from the cavern from which they came.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he started talking like this, and
Yep.
now he's a man.
He's a man now.
Fuck
He's got
that.
a jawline.
We should bring back snipping.
Oh yeah.
We
Excuse
should
me?
find. We should. Okay, so they used to for choir boys when they had perfect voices, snip their balls off so they stay there
I'm
forever.
sorry. Are you fucking serious?
I think so.
I don't
Miles,
know
can
if
we
that's-
get
that's
a
the thing.
Can we fact check?
a legal?
Yeah.
They used to. I mean, I'm talking like I don't know if it's choir voice.
They used to snip. They would prevent their puberty.
They would snip testicles so that they would have beautiful voices forever. And I think that we should find these as a sacrifice for the greater good. We should find these incredible voice actors. I'm talking Gregory. I'm talking Baby Nemo.
Casper.
I'm talking Casper. Cut their fucking balls off. Make them
castrati singers.
Oh my
boom.
god!
Boys were castrated to keep their voices at a higher pitch.
Boom!
God damn.
Get at me.
Imagine being such a fantastic singer that they were like, everything you know about manhood, time to go.
It's just a eunuch at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah, but with so much more to give.
And probably more money, I guess.
Here, imagine like,
No.
imagine you're at a.
Why?
I don't know. You're a fantastic singer. You're probably
Imagine
making
you're at a
coin.
bar.
No, they're just choir boys.
Imagine
Oh.
you're at a bar, Kelsey, and you see
Okay.
this like hunky man, and you're
Relatable.
like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna get me
All
a
the
piece of that."
time.
He's He's
No,
mysterious. He's got
he
long
wouldn't
hair,
be hunky at all
And
because
you go
his testosterone.
He's
is
stuck
gone.
as
and
boy.
you go
Stuck
up
as
to
a
him,
boy.
and he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Listen, I don't want to judge anyone for their quirks, but I think what would bother me more deeply is the trauma attached to him of getting his balls snippety snapped at.
You're telling me no great arts ever come from trauma?
Who I am
lot
living,
of it.
walking proof of such thing. But
It's not required, but it
Talk
sure
your
does
shit,
help.
Kelsey.
It's a
okay,
shortcut.
I don't know how we got here. Point is, Greg's voice is fucking
It's
adorable.
great. It's super
He's
adorable.
such a good character that I'm sad it didn't make every other character that interesting because this world that they're in is very like fairy tale,
Yeah.
right? Like, can you talk a little bit about what the world looks like exactly?
Yeah, it is a fairy tale book. It drops you in the middle of it, and we'll get to the end later. But it really does just set up this world where it's just like, oh, we're lost in the woods and we need to figure it out. It's a A to B situation. And I think in the first episode they come across a log cabin and they're just being chased by a demon dog.
Yep.
And it's that was the first instance of it saying, oh, we're dark as fuck. All of this stuff, all of the things that you keep on, that we're lulling you into, where it's just like, oh, this is just going to be a nice little fairy tale story with like, wings and shit. And then there's just this bleeding, dark, fucking, all you can see is this glowing eyeballs dog. And then that leads to it just being an actual like dog with a turtle stuck in its stomach.
Black turtles are a recurring theme.
And Greg spanks the dog, which made me laugh so fucking hard. See, I
Spanks
was
the dog.
in, and then like I was out, and then like 4 brought me back in, and then I was kind of out for a minute, and then like the ending is like the best ending to a ending episode
100%.
to a cartoon I've ever seen. But I was in and out a lot, and I think, and this has to do with the world, I think it had a little bit to do with the color scheme of this movie.
Okay.
And I was
Interesting.
in for the autumnal. I was the one who asked for like Halloween, Thanksgiving movies to happen, but it was so
gray.
flat
Yeah.
and like and God, people are probably gonna come for me for like the animation style because I don't know anything about it. So who am I to fucking judge? But like it gave me a little bit of that uncomfortableness where I was like, this character's nose is just a pink triangle.
Okay.
And I didn't like that.
So that's the give and take with animation is that if you don't like the style, it's gonna be hard for you to
bumming
watch
me
it.
out the whole time.
Yeah,
But
it's
then like
just-
I look at Greg and his big ass like
Right.
cocaine eyes and I'm like,
Yeah.
I believe you kind of got Greg eyes.
You got
Oh
Greg
my
eyes.
God, thank you so
the
much.
big
got
ol'
Greg
eyes.
eyes.
Greg's okay, well, let's talk about the animation real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg's eyes, first of all, that
Are-
dude's
are
straight up on
protruding
So
acid.
from his
cute.
face. Yeah.
That like, if you've ever looked in your friend's eyes when they're on drugs, Greg.
It's the emoji where it's like,
But it's like a kid, you
Yeah.
know, that's what you want
It's
from
wondrous.
a child.
Kids
Yeah.
can
You just
take
wanna
drugs.
see
Kelsey's living proof.
hey, I did
Okay.
fine.
I mean-
Surviving proof.
Fair.
But the it's a very autumnal color scheme. Like
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
fall incarnate.
like
Yeah.
you're in my pants the whole
Just,
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rubbing
Yeah.
together. What blew my mind is its use of darks.
Yes.
Like I've never seen.
But I mean, going back to the dog,
Yeah.
it was literally just like vapor black.
Yeah.
There was nothing. You could barely see
What
the
was
outlines
happening.
of the dog
Yeah.
itself. You couldn't see any features in it. It was just this like, rough Wolverine looking thing
Sure.
with like glowing
And
black
different,
eyes.
and like when you do get hints of its shape, and then
Yeah.
so it turns out that's not the beast. There is a true
Actual beast,
and
yeah.
same with him. He's black against a dark gray
Yeah.
with glowing eyes, and you're just getting hints of his shape. And
You think
it's-
he's a tree.
You
think he's a
got-
tree.
He's
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
tree head.
And he
I mean,
makes trees.
that's
Yeah.
bold.
the
That's a
thing.
bold choice to
Yeah.
like obscure so much action
Yeah.
And it forces your imagination.
And then
It
you
does.
get the amount of animals in this, which I loved. Like I fell in love with every animal character, which felt like so, again, like Snow White, like old school. And then you juxtapose it with like, you know, the murderous plot line underneath that you've got where you're like, oh, I liked that it was meshing. I would have liked to see a little vibrancy. Just bump up that contrast a hair more. Throw in a sparkle emoji every now and then.
Can I get a little sparkle? Can I just get one little touch of perhaps a magenta?
And I'm not trying to advocate for drugs, but I do 100% believe that this is the show to watch when you're high. Like just high out of your mind, because your mind, your imagination truly just fills in the blanks. And you're just looking at it just like.
That's your problem. You're sober.
You were sober.
From alcohol, I will say the first. So remember, we did trick our guilty whores into thinking we were doing this last week.
Yeah.
So I did watch like episode 1 through 3 microdose days.
Okay.
And I did laugh a lot.
Yeah.
I did.
It's so the comedy's so surprising.
Yes.
In my
yes.
yeah.
I did take 8 mushroom gummies on Saturday and don't think I felt anything still. And I then watched it the next day and I felt like I was very sad. Like my body, I didn't have a high. I just had a come down for no reason.
Yeah.
And I will say this maybe isn't the show to watch depressed. I would say you'd want to watch this when you're in like a good place in your life.
Yeah,
you're able to do drugs and have a good time.
Right. It's the leftovers of cartoons. You really have to be in a good space in order to watch this, because it is, we're going to set up a plot. We're going to set up a bad person or a bad guy, make them look as evil as evil as fucking possible.
Did you fart or was that Bowie?
No, I farted. Yeah, I was hoping no one noticed.
No.
I'm really sorry. It just kind of happened. It was loud too, and we all had headphones on.
God.
Yeah. It went straight into my. Thank you for your honesty, and I don't mean to shame
it was
you.
Like, it may be something you can hear in the audio. The headphones did save me, or else it would have been very obvious.
I
what about
don't
the
mean
smell?
to shame you, but the smell. I could have used a smell warning.
I wasn't sure what would happen with the
What
smell.
did you eat for breakfast?
I just came back from a music festival.
All right. So you've got a lot of gas pent up.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff
Foods,
that's not my normal
frieds.
diet. Perhaps some.
that
poisonous
smelled like
things.
a sick fart.
Oh no.
Like
you.
an inflamed fart.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's my B.
I'm so sorry. It just like took me
What were
away
we
for a
talking
second.
about?
What were we talking about?
I forgot. Oh, we were talking. Oh, the villains in all of the episodes.
The structure of the episode.
structure
Sorry.
of the
I was
episode.
gonna say, do you remember that season of
thought it
Entourage
was
where
Bowie.
Vinny gets like drunk and evil?
Yes.
It's the that of cartoons.
Yeah.
It's
There you go.
the that.
That was a joke
What
for Miles
a
and
comp.
Miles only.
Yeah, when Eminem beats him up.
Yeah. The season with Sasha Grey.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I was on her show. She has a show now. Did you know?
Good for her.
She's great. Can you explain how when they said they were stepbrothers, and then we can talk about Wirt?
They said it at the beginning.
Yeah, it comes
Where
up a
he's
couple
just like your
times.
mom or blah blah blah.
Your
No,
mom,
or like
it can't
your
be.
dad, blah blah blah. He said he mentioned your dad rather than
Oh, that's very
our dad.
funny. Just even now knowing they weren't actually brothers makes everything a lot more funny.
Yeah, and the story then turns into two blended brothers
Families,
trying to
yes.
learn how to like each other.
didn't
It's
know
like
that
him
term.
trying to
Blended brothers.
So we've talked about Greg, the cutest little cutie that ever was. Let's
Big
give a
eyes.
moment to Wirt. If you've
What a
ever
name.
seen anything from this, or if you've seen, it's the dude
The
in the
one with
red
the cone.
pointy hat and the
Yeah.
cape,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
Looks like a
I know
gnome.
what they're talking about.
And a
yeah,
pink
he's
nose.
a little gnome.
Voiced by none other than Elijah Wood.
Yes, man.
Now.
Yes, really
Great
now.
voice. Great
How the
voice.
fuck did they get I mean, I guess he's not
That
that
was my
busy.
question too. How the fuck did they get Elijah Wood for this? And Christopher Lloyd.
And Christopher Lloyd.
Chris- Not Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Not Andrew Lloyd.
No, second time you made that mistake. Not in this podcast.
I
but just
thought,
in
it
the
makes so much
confines
sense that
of
he's such a
everything.
fantastic singer because he wrote The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
But it's the scientist from that movie.
Yeah.
Wirt is like just a great
A teen
little
boy.
pushover doofus teen boy.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about him.
Yeah, he's such a good everyman in this.
Straight man for sure.
Yeah.
They had a great episode about him being a pushover. And how I just was like, I related to him.
Yeah, immediately. And then like, I don't know. She's like, maybe
That's
you should
because
just
you all
follow
have
all the
strong
rules.
women in your lives and you
That is
feel like
true.
a pushover, but you're all very strong, independent men. I will say that.
Oh, thank you.
You got great work ethics.
Thanks.
I'm not afraid to fart.
No,
you should
and
be,
you know what? I'm so glad
apparently.
you did our comfortability friendship factor. Even though I had to endure that going into my sinuses and up into my brain,
Ew.
I'm glad we've gotten that out of the way.
Disgusting.
We were talking about so your suggestion, your
Being high.
you implored that I be as high as possible.
As high as humanly
So
possible.
I got back from this music festival, in which I dabbled in some things
Drugs.
that make the music sound
Yeah.
boobity bop. So I got home on Monday, and Maggie and I was like, "Hey, I gotta go get real high," and she's like, "What? We just
Just were really high."
You were just high all weekend," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, but this time is for work.
Garrick
Yeah.
This time is because
said
Garrick
that.
and I was able to pull up a text where I showed her.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so
Drag him.
Yeah. How did you feel going into it high?
I was like excited, confused.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, the first like episode or two, I was like, okay, this is fine. And I had this feeling of like, oh no, I'm going to let Garrick down. Like I
No.
appreciate this, but I don't know that I love it.
I don't have
and then,
that fear.
And then I wrote, oh, potato and molasses. I'm so high and I have no idea why they're singing this song, but I am titillated.
Yes.
And it just really what got me most
Yeah.
of all was the lore.
The lore
And
of it,
once I
yeah.
realized that they were teasing this larger story, it was really first with the woodsman reveal. And like
yes.
there are some twists in this, and
There's a twist
shocked
every
me.
episode. I feel like with is what I was getting into at the beginning with like or earlier with all of the villains. Every villain is subverted immediately. Like the
Yeah.
giant pumpkin head people.
Yeah,
that
you're
was
like
funny.
that was episode 2, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, you can't leave. You just broke our thing. You think
Yeah.
you can just step in one of our pumpkins and get away clean? And then they got locked up and they had a trial. And it's just like, well, you know what your punishment is. 7
couple
hours
hours.
of manual labor. And he's just like, oh,
That's it.
that's it. Okay. And like every time that they thought that they
Yeah.
were going to get in deep shit, they just weren't.
But the through line villain is this woodsman that like it's not the woodsman. It's
the
the
Andrew
woodsman
Lloyd
tells
Webber.
them,
Yeah.
Andrew Lloyd Webber tells
Yeah.
them that there's a beast in the woods. And
Yeah.
so they're trying to find their way home the whole series and they have to be going through the woods over and over again. So you're like waiting for this beast to pop up.
in the first twist, there's
Yeah.
this song about how he who holds the lantern and chops the trees to turn into oil is the beast. And you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's the woods. And like it genuinely
Yeah.
shocked me. And then there's a twist on the twist.
Yeah.
And then that fucking shocked me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of don't want to spoil all of
I
these.
feel like we should wait till we get towards the
Towards
end.
the end?
And then
Yeah.
that way at
And
least
then
people
we'll
they
talk
can
about
opt
it,
out
yeah.
if they
There's
want.
there's a shock. There's a twist
a
about
a twist that's
It is
so
bird.
adult.
It is one of the most like
Emotional.
warm, emotional twists I have ever seen in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Talking about episode 9.
Episode
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's put a pin and we'll come back to it at the
Yeah.
end, and we'll give you guys ample warning.
Can
But,
we
like,
talk
even
about-
the fucking bird that you think
Yes.
is just a throwaway
I
joke?
was
I'm
just
like,
gonna ask.
that twist
Everything is a
shocked me.
fucking throwaway.
But trees.
like, and even when you were talking the trees, Beatrice. I said the trees.
No, but her name's not Beatrice. What is it? Is it Beatrice?
Yeah.
What did I just say?
You said Patrice. Patrice.
I'm pretty sure that was the name of my best friend's mom growing up. Patrice.
Patrice
it's
sounds like a
Beatrice.
made up
Yeah.
name. I
No,
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about her for a second?
She's great.
Because I loved and identified with her the most, obviously.
course.
She is a woodland creature who, at the very beginning, surprises the boys in the woods to try and help them. And they're like, holy shit, you can talk? And she's like, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't I be able to talk or whatever?
Oh my God. When the horse revealed that he could talk.
Oh, that was great.
One of the funniest moments in my fucking
Horse,
life.
what was his name? Horse something?
Fred, yeah, Fred the horse.
Fred.
And they say, Fred's a talking horse. He can do whatever he wants. I want to steal.
I want to steal. That was like a meme for a while.
Yeah.
On Twitter where
It's
people would
excellent.
just have this sweet looking horse and then the caption just says, I want to steal.
So the bluebird,
Yeah, bluebird.
Beatrice.
So Patrice, she has a beautiful friendship with them. At first, you're like, she's a little sassy.
Yeah.
But I like that about her because she's really the only like main lady in this thing
Yeah.
besides besides, the ones we shall not name, because it's a little bit of a spoiler, whatever.
This is a big spoiler.
Yeah. And she is guiding them through the woods as this, what you think is expert, because she's a bird in the woods. And then she has this huge fucking story reveal in the end where you're like, oh my God, you're not just a talking bird woodland creature that's like been a helpful little baby bluebird. You have a big secret.
Making content is an essential part of what I do to keep this show going, but it hasn't always been a seamless creative process. Sometimes I'm here at my computer, but sometimes I'm in the back of a car on my phone, and I need to be able to whip up something that looks professional in an instant. And ever since I found Canva Pro, I can design anything like a pro on any device. Canva Pro is a design platform that empowers you to create and share stunning content in just a few clicks. Designing with Canva Pro is amazingly fast and it's fun. You can choose from thousands of templates that are easy to customize, or you start from scratch. And as I've been referring to, you can do it on your phone. That to me has been the best part. With Canva Pro, I can design wherever I am in the world. I also really love how collaborative it is. You can work with teammates, right? And you are sharing, editing, and commenting in real time. Design like a pro with Canva Pro. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/guilty to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/guilty. Canva.me/guilty.
Yeah. We're talking 10 minutes. 10 episodes.
Yeah.
These are little stories.
Yeah.
And it's a movie length, it's a short movie, but there is a lot.
There's a lot of stuff into it.
There's a lot
of story
Which
pushed
is why
into
you
it.
can't have too big of a issue to solve each episode. Like their whole episode is just getting further back on track of their directions.
Yeah.
Can I say, it
Checkers.
kind of reminded me. So like you have these main episodes, like story monster of the week type format, and then at the end there's like sometimes these huge dumps of lore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, man, kind of reminds me of Can of Competition.
Oh shit!
I was like, yo,
I did it.
respect.
I did it. I did it without even
Greatness-
knowing that
greatness
you
sees
existed.
greatness.
I see it. I see the
I have
vision.
no comment.
I was just like, yo, okay, I got
I
it.
will say, if you haven't stopped to watch, I have not laughed as hard as I had when watching.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the last one yet. I've been
Ooh,
waiting.
oh shit, Kelsey, you gotta fucking.
I need time. I haven't had a moment to sit and properly. I want to put it on the big screen.
We got
I
big
want to
screen right
live
here.
react
You guys
to
want
it.
to stop the episode and just watch? Fuck.
No.
Wait till you see the end.
That's not how I like to enjoy my
Wait till
art.
you see the ending.
I can't wait.
You're gonna.
Someone was you for Halloween, I saw.
Did you see Miles?
Yeah, the biggest thrill. Love that.
Yeah,
I
someone
was
being
really
you for
hoping there
Halloween.
would be a couple's costume of the two of us, and it did
Yeah.
not happen.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
heartbreaking.
Next
better.
year. You have time to get more famous. Don't worry.
Beatrice had what is to me maybe the single greatest line.
Which one?
In anything ever, and I want to use this.
What?
Yeah.
She goes, "Bluebirds have a short lifespan." You can throw that part away. You can use the rest of this quote and say, "You two are literally killing me with every moment I'm forced to spend with you." And that is just like, wow.
Yeah.
My favorite of hers was when she was walking in the woods and it's like an ending line. So it's the last thing before the sun goes down and the credits come up. And he's like, what's your story? And she goes, I don't have to tell you anything. And then the credits just come up. And I was like, I love her. She's so funny.
Oh my God.
She's just very real. Not to spoil
She's very
her story.
modern.
Okay, can we just spoil
No, we
it?
can just talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
the spoiler is
With her.
Oh, with her.
with her.
Yeah.
So, okay.
She used to be
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
a human.
It's a. Oh my God. It's
She
just
was
a
turned into a blue jay.
Yeah, it's a throwaway line.
Yeah.
As they're
There are
walking.
more spoilers about it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They're walking into a fucking closet. They get locked in a closet, and she's just like
Another scene that's almost entirely black.
In the dark.
almost black.
They got real lazy. Her budget was down.
Maybe.
They made it work.
Because the backgrounds are literally just like still photos.
Yeah.
And
They just walk through it.
Every background is a still photo, but
Very cool.
they seem very small.
We've accepted time in frames. That's a good point. True. Not only in movies, but in life.
That whole scene where they're in the closet
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess we can find clothes or no. They're talking about finding 2 cents.
Yeah.
Right. To pay the ferryman.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, maybe you should check the lining of their clothes. That's where I would always put my money. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I used to be a human. When I was a human, I used to wear clothes like this all the time. Blah, 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 blah.
And
there's
that's
just, and then that's it. And then they continue the conversation.
Until like 2 episodes later.
Right.
Where you
and then
get more.
And then you have the bigger twist.
It's kind of a masterclass of slowly introducing exposition through non-exposition scenes.
Yes.
And it's just kind of remarkable.
It would only work as a cartoon. I'm trying to imagine this
you-
as like a Netflix show and someone having that scene in a closet, and I just wouldn't believe it.
Well, the whole style, the way that they talk,
Yeah,
the
it's
way
very
the world,
quick.
it's fairy tale.
Yeah.
There are two, for me, big points I want to hit before we go on to the real spoiler-laden
9.
territory.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one thing that I kind of fell into a hole while I was watching this, and I stopped watching it for a little bit because of this, but it kept living with me, and I felt like just totally compelled to come back to it. And I think you're going to have that experience when you watch this. Like, whether you binge it all in one sitting or not, I was like, all right, I'm good for the night. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes. That's good. And then the whole next day, I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop thinking about it. And it was a world that just sucked me in.
Yeah. Love that. I love that so much. I love hearing about. I have no comments on your comment, but
The overwhelming thought that I had, even in the beginning, when I didn't love it at that point, but I still felt I wish that there were more reliable economic models that existed to support things that a few people love instead of just the things that a lot of people
Like the Avengers.
Because, people love Avengers, but there's so much broad content out there that it's agreeable. And that, look, for better or worse, art is commerce.
Yeah.
Hollywood is a
You
business.
use
It's
it.
one of the most successful businesses in America. But we don't really have space for art for just art's sake. This is...
Art
if
for
someone
art's
pitched
sake.
this to me,
Yeah.
I would say, you're out of your fucking mind.
yeah,
It's like, that
I'd
doesn't
get
make any
bored
sense.
as shit.
If I were an executive, I would
Poo-poo
throw them
this.
out of the fucking door because this is not.
It sounds boring as fuck.
It sounds boring. It sounds weird. It flies in the face of everything that I know works about cartoons,
right.
and it works.
Yeah.
But
And
that's what's-
obviously people fucking love it, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
that it's out there.
You said this in our group chat that like it was so good, like it was just a web series. Can you
tell
explain?
us about where this
Okay,
came from? Because I
so-
texted Garrick and I said, how the fuck did
this
someone
get
pitch
made?
this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can
so-
you imagine walking into a room and saying, I want to make a 10-episode, 10-minute short
yeah.
about, what?
Yeah. So Cartoon Network does this thing where they like to pair a writer with an artist. I don't know if he was just a writer or if he was. I think he gets like storyboard by.
And this is
but
a
they're-
fellowship or?
It's pretty much like a fellowship. They are board driven usually on their shows, so that means that somebody draws something and then someone else comes in and writes dialogue for
That's cool, and
the drawings.
backwards.
It's backwards for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Whereas most of the adult animation shows are script driven.
Wait. So just so I'm getting this right, they first will draw the story visually with
Yeah.
no dialogue,
Yeah,
nothing.
with just like a sentence saying like these people are going here, these people are going here, kind of like a storybook.
wow.
Maybe you should try that for your next project.
Yeah, maybe that's
I
my
mean-
problem. That's why my writing is
You're
sucks.
right.
It's
writing
helped
before you're
them so
thinking.
much. It's helped Cartoon Network
Wow.
pretty much build an entire
Wow.
empire off of that style. Or I mean, I'm sure that's just what animation started off as.
So
but
this was that.
this was one of those. That's most of Cartoon Network's programming. So they had this one little fellowship that he went through and then made this beautiful story tale.
Web series?
Or, not a web series. So
was
it was
one
like
short
it's like
film.
an internal type of short, essentially, where they would just like use it as like a proof of concept for something. And then they were like, this is really good. We should just make this and put it out.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just like
It was
you
based on one
your-
concept.
or your pitch is seen, like your whole thing is seen, like you've drawn, you've set up your storyboard for like the pilot and all of that, rather than just like writing the script. And so you get a really good view into what this could look like over the course of however many episodes. But he was like, this is just going to be a short. It's probably going to be like
Did
10
it
episodes.
get like a cult following when it
I
went
think it
on
did.
TV?
Yeah, I think it
Because
did.
it went on Cartoon Network first, and then streamers
then,
became a thing, and it's
yeah,
Hulu.
yeah.
And then now even I saw the like review videos of it, which even are a year or two
Yeah.
old,
Yeah,
have like
people-
a 250,000 views.
Yeah,
And I was
people
like,
like
Jesus.
write like video essays for this beautiful short series. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I don't.
no, it's
I have
great.
no other way to. I really want to articulate how good it is.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I do sit back and write and watch it, I don't write anything down because I'm just so busy watching it.
Okay, because like I came off as if I didn't like it. I really enjoyed it. I think where my biggest guilt for this movie was for me was that I use media as like a form of meditation or like creative like soup making, right? Like I'm either in it or I'm like studying it.
Yeah.
And this for me was something that I felt an inconsistency in my attention to it.
Yeah.
And it was like anytime the relationship between Beatrice and the boys were happening, I was watching, or like if a really interesting villain happened with like, my favorite was the old guy who knew he was going mad. Who like
Or
knew he
what
was going
about, oh my
crazy.
God, the giant auntie? Oh, she was scary.
She was fucking phenomenal.
No, that was a part I probably looked away and was like folding my pillowcase.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt an inconsistency in the, and I don't know, maybe this is why they made it 10 episodes, 10 minutes, is that they wanted you to watch it in little chunks and not all at once.
Well, most cartoons are like 12 minutes.
What?
Yeah, they'll have like the
Two in a
either the
block.
cartoon or something.
Yeah, don't you remember
Really?
watching Rugrats as a kid? It was 2 episodes in one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, and here's
They're
what
just A stories, essentially.
Yeah.
It's just one A story.
Because our
It's
little tiny pea brains can't handle
if
one
we were
anymore.
doing like an adult cartoon, it's an A story and a B story, which is like 10 minutes each.
More
But,
than
you take out
anything
one.
that we've watched on the show that I think is great, I do not think this is for everyone, right?
No.
Like, there's a very specific type of person that will fuck with this so
Because-
hard, so deeply, will get it tattooed on their
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And then there's some that are going to be like, this is dark, this is weird. But for me, I just look at this and go, thank God we live in a world where this beautiful weirdo was able to tap this part of his brain and tell a story that is so not traditionally commercial.
Right.
I just am overjoyed that it was given the chance, because there obviously are people that love this so deeply, and it is so different.
Yeah.
Miles, did you see this movie?
No, not yet.
Are
Yeah,
you
you should
going
watch it.
to?
I'm definitely gonna watch it after this.
Does
Yeah.
this like
Yeah.
strike your fancy?
Yeah, this makes me so interested. I
Yeah.
love
What
animation.
what
and
sounds interesting about it? Because I feel like
Yeah.
it's also a hard sell. Like we had to do this because you were like, this is
I think
the best.
okay, so I think that it is the best. I think that as somebody who constantly watches animation and all that stuff,
Yeah,
the
you do.
amount of times that it subverts what animation is, your expectations of an animation, and the amount of times that it subverts your comedy stylings from animation is worth the watch.
Okay, but I know you're obsessed with it. What sounds interesting to you about it?
I would say hearing that it is not for everybody makes me interested into it, because I think that it's also hearing that it's dark and
Yeah.
like silly.
Because it doesn't. Because even if you saw like the poster, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "This is a dark fairy tale."
By the way, Maggie's sister, obsessed with this.
Yeah.
Has talked to me about it, has tried to tell me to get it. I've seen the picture, I've seen it online, like the poster of it. Saw the title, and I just was not. I was like,
Yeah.
Me neither.
It's missing
Neil
the
kept on
contrast.
telling me to watch this short. He was like, I think you would really dig it, man. And for like literally a year and a half, he kept telling me, he's like, hey,
we
did
put
you
it
watch
off an extra week.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
can talk about Dune.
There you
We
go.
were like, we don't care.
It's like, it doesn't matter because it's just, nobody makes a short series out
You
of
know
a-
what it reminded me of, and I think I said this last week to you, is that the style reminds me of like a desaturated Disenchantment on Netflix,
Yeah.
which I fucking loved,
Yeah.
which is like very much set in a castle fairy tale, like girl human with quirky two best friends that aren't alive. Like it just, you don't know what year this was made.
Right. You
And
don't
I
know
don't
what
know if
year
I
it
love
is
that.
in the show, which is
Okay.
leading into.
Should we talk
I got one
about-
story.
Yeah.
Story time with Zach.
Okay.
This show stars the wonderful Elijah Wood as Wirt. And I have a story about Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, are you taking Kelsey's out corner? And
Yeah, I'm about to out Elijah Wood as the nicest human being
Yeah.
on the fucking planet.
Let's
They
hear
say
it.
don't meet your heroes unless your hero's Elijah Wood, in which case you should fucking meet him.
Yeah.
I, as every child was obsessed with Lord of the Rings. When the movie was coming, I read that book. I got the fake One Ring from Barnes & Noble that came
Yeah.
with it. I wore it every day for a month, and my finger turned green, not from infection, because like
Nickel
it was fake.
allergy.
No, I think it was just like
Fake
fake
gold.
metal,
Yeah.
fake
Oh.
gold. Turns your finger green. Loved it. I don't know if you guys know this, But as a child, I dabbled in some child acting. And I was on an episode of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I did know that.
Wow.
I've heard the story.
Have you not told
No.
So I needed to do after school activities, and we don't need the whole reason why
I'll
I
send
got
you my
there.
podcast, which he goes in very thorough detail about how he was on Saturday Night Live.
It was the
Please.
same week that I almost lost a testicle.
Yes.
Very
What?
yeah.
And
You were
that
almost
story-
a choir boy?
Yeah.
I would have had a beautiful voice forever.
You
Fuck.
still do, kind of.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
You can get pretty
God.
high.
Yeah, I actually can get high, but I have both balls. So
Okay.
Nice.
just for the
Prove
record.
it.
Yeah.
Prove it.
right.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't want to be in charge.
So, pure organic cotton sheets from Boll and Branch make a truly special gift. They make the highest quality sheets by doing things the right way, not the easy way. We just got new Boll and Branch sheets for my bed, and it's kind of becoming a problem because I frankly don't want to wake up, ever. I always look forward to going to sleep. It is just so comfortable. It's what a bed should feel like. It feels like little angels kissing your body. Their signature hem sheets are their all-time bestseller. They're beloved for so many reasons, like how they get softer with every single wash. Buttery soft, lightweight, and made with 100% organic cotton weave that feels incredible in all seasons. I want you to treat yourself and your loved ones to the new standard in bedding from Boll and Branch. Their gifts come wrapped and ready in this special holiday package. Order by $12.19 for guaranteed delivery by Christmas. The best deals of the year are going on now from November 1st to November 11th with promo code GUILTY at bollandbranch.com. That's BOLLN branch.com. Promo code GUILTY. Exclusions may apply.
So I was on Saturday Night Live with Elijah Wood as the special guest, and I was a glorified background actor. It was super cool though. I did the whole thing, amazing. A couple years later, I am at a concert here in LA. I'm in Los Angeles. My dad got me and my uncle tickets to see the White Stripes,
Nice.
and we're backstage because I'm fucking dope.
Yeah,
My
sure.
dad works in the
Whatever
concert
you
industry.
say.
Got us backstage, and I see Elijah Wood. And I'm like, I can't go. And my uncle's like, what? It's like, well, I just was on Saturday Night Live. He won't remember me. He's like, you gotta go say hi. So I go up to Elijah Wood. I tell him, you're not gonna remember this, but I was a kid on the episode you hosted. I figure like hosting SNL is a big deal to him. And he lit up. He was so excited to see me. He introduced me to his mom, to his brother.
Oh my God.
And he was like, did you catch the opening act? The Greenhorns, they were fucking awesome. Later, Jack White would form the Raccoon Tours with that band.
Nice.
And like Elijah Wood was just like geeking out about music. So sweet. Talked to me way too long. I'm a child.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm 15 years old. We go our separate ways. 3 years later, I'm working in Manhattan. It was like my summer internship before going to college. I run into Elijah Wood so many times that it starts to become weird. It starts to get creepy. So I say hello to him again, and I'm like, hey man, like you may not remember me. I was on this thing, and then I saw you again.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's so good to see you. Same shit. I was like, yo, tell your mom I say hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's
whatever. But then after
offensive.
that, I had to start like averting my gaze
Because he's going to think you're a stalker.
because over the course of 3 years, I saw him probably 6 or 7 times.
Wow.
Like it got to a
He
point.
just lived in the neighborhood, apparently.
I guess, but like
Yeah.
no, all over the city, Garrick.
Yeah. Oh.
I was
Oh, God.
everywhere. Like I was
Maybe
a
you guys
runner.
are meant to be together.
There was something in the cosmos.
Yeah.
Like there is an
me.
alternative timeline.
You
where
guys
me
are
and-
gonna work together at some point.
Because
maybe.
then you're going to be like, you probably don't remember. And he's going to be like, Zach, I
Yeah.
literally have met you 16 times now.
I
Yeah.
like there is a like remember Marvel's What If? Like there's
Yeah.
a What If timeline where like Elijah Wood hit me with his car and killed me. It's like
Of course.
something where like or like maybe
Yeah, where the exact opposite
I
is now
saved him from
happening
a
in your
burning
life.
building or
Yeah.
something where
Not
our
that buff.
souls are intertwined.
Yeah.
And then that window closed and now we've moved on. But I got here to LA and like the first show I went to at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, he was DJing. I'm like, what the
What
fuck,
is
Elijah
happening?
Wood?
Of course he was.
You know what's so funny is
But
like,
he's so nice.
Of
Every
course.
time I saw him, he's so
Yeah,
nice.
he's
do
such
you
a
guys
sweetheart.
get I have my theories about how maybe you guys get, but do you get that nervousness of like going up to a celebrity to just sit like make a personal connection? Because at first I judge myself for being like, you fucking idiot, like they're busy, they don't care,
Yeah.
just like move on. But then the second wave of thought is they probably really appreciate when someone comes up and like says something nice about who they are or what they mean.
Depends where they are.
It depends.
Okay, fair. Yeah. So do you guys get that like nervousness about?
Because it is a crapshoot on what type of day they're going to be having.
Who's the most famous person you met, Garrick?
Oh shit! I don't
saw
know.
In New York City. I saw and I walked right past Beyonce and Jay-Z, and that I felt like even though I didn't say anything, they didn't look at me. Oh, like walking like this close. Yeah. And I just remember being like,
yeah.
Okay.
Will Smith is my.
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh,
I forgot. Will Smith.
Who?
Will Smith.
When did you meet Will Smith?
I worked for him.
Oh, yeah, duh. And he's cool as this.
Yeah, he's
you have no, there's no way
he's like aggressive.
Different.
He's an aggressive sweetheart.
I was seeing Pirates of the Caribbean, and my mom was like, Zach, go outside right now. I'm like, Mom, the previews are about to start. It's like, Paul McCartney is in line for popcorn right the fuck now. And I get up there, and I asked him for a picture, and he said, no, because then I'd have to do one with everyone, but I will shake your hand. And I'm like, honestly, that's the coolest thing anyone's ever said to me.
That is a good rejection.
And then the Try Guys were in Miami at Versailles, which is an incredible Cuban restaurant. And 2 days after Lemonade, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Blue Ivy walked in, and she walked right by our table. Like, and literally, I felt the air change. I'm like,
okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Like, literally, I'm sitting at the table, the air changes, and I go, what's going? And I turn around as a door opens, and these two men in suits are standing there. I'm like, what? And then she walks in, and she's right next to our table, and this kid comes up to take a photo, but like her baby's in the photo, and she just turns and like basically looks right at me because she's looking right next to the kid who's sitting next to me. He goes, please, baby, no photos. And I was like, ah!
Wait, but that's not meeting. Like,
no, I didn't meet. Paul McCartney. Paul
McCartney, the Beatle himself.
I can't think of who's the most famous person I've met.
I had a moment with Sir Paul where I'm like coming down the stairs and I'm like, oh shit, that's Paul McCartney. And then I get up close to him. He turns around. I'm like, oh no, that's just an old lesbian woman. And then I looked again. I'm like, oh wait, no, it is Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
I was at the Dear Evan Hansen premiere and was sitting, again, didn't meet her, never mind. Well, I was very close to Julianne Moore. And I feel like to me, she is like a celebrity.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actress.
It's been a pretty fun celebo time, just boasting about our celebo friends. Yeah. Anyway, Elijah Wood, if you're out there, you're a sweetheart. Thanks for being so nice to me when I was a kid.
and
let's work together soon because it's in the cards for us.
And I look forward to running. And thanks for playing Word.
Together with you guys.
Oh yeah, we met Vin Diesel.
That was pretty cool.
We met Vin Diesel.
We didn't just meet Vin Diesel. We're like familia.
We had a whole connection.
Damn. Best
you made him laugh.
Lives.
I made him laugh.
You made him laugh.
And that is one of my greatest triumphs.
Yeah, that's like your dad finally giving you the approval you've always looked for in your life. And I feel like I felt it through you. Yeah. That's how like complete I was.
Yeah.
So this show takes place in this mystical fairy tale
Okay, now
world.
we're on episode 9.
Episode 9.
Really quick, I'm going to put in my noise canceling headphones.
Yeah.
Just because I'm going to watch this
major
spoiler.
Okay, yeah. Step outside.
Oh.
Do you want to just leave? Get out of here.
Yeah, Miles, leave. I was like, wait, why? What's
major spoilers ahead.
Okay.
Episode 9 begins and you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Jack. Okay. So the entire time, like you're saying, we're in this fantastical world. These are kids lost in the woods. Mm-hmm. It's bringing up your childhood of your mom reading you storybooks. Episode 9 begins in the modern world, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? You see Wirt, he's listening to his tape deck. We're like, why did this now become the animated version of Juno? This doesn't make any fucking sense. What is going on? And you see him trying to write something for a girl and all of this stuff. He's been talking about this girl for a long time throughout the show. It's Halloween, and he's getting ready to put together a makeshift costume, and you realize that this is not a gnome person.
No.
He is dressed up for Halloween.
In costume this whole time.
In costume. When I tell you I was high and this blew my fucking mind.
That they could do that to you.
I was like, am I watching a new thing? What happened? And you're seeing
then you also have this moment where you're like, did I start on the wrong episode?
Yes.
I started on the wrong episode.
I thought I skipped an episode.
I love when TV shows do that type of stuff, like even in Lost, where you're like watching.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, you're watching a flashback, and you're watching a flash forward. You're like, oh, that's dope. They got off the island. No, it's a flashback to this whole other thing. You're like, no, God, he's getting on the plane now. No, all this, but So it's that whole world, and you're just like, oh, what is going on? What is this new world is this like, did he fall and hit his head, and now we're seeing like in his imagination or his dreams and all that stuff? And it's just like, no, this is the home that they're looking for.
Yeah.
The home that they're looking for, the village that they're looking for is the modern world. And it's like, it gives you this like joyous feeling of
they're regular.
They're regular because they've been doing, because that's the other thing, it's been under the rug,
pumping heads and talking to animals the whole
time.
But
it's the one of the reasons why it's been so funny and why I think that this is a brilliant thing is because they're using modern language to explain fairy tale happenings, right? And you're just like, oh man, that's I guess if this happened to me and I was looking at all these things, it would be weird, and I would be talking.
And
like
you know
this.
what? In an early episode, I didn't write it down, but there was one anachronistic reference where I'm like, huh?
Yeah, but he's like talking about, oh, I have to go. Him bringing up, oh, if you saw a gnome and his little buddy, you wouldn't say, oh yeah, your dad, blah blah blah. We're actually stepbrothers, all of this stuff. Like, I wouldn't correct anybody. It's just like, why would that relationship even exist in the woods? Right? Why would you have to go for clarinet lessons? What the fuck? They have clarinets in the woods? And then it gets to this modern time and you're like, oh, fuck.
This all makes sense.
This all makes sense. Everything starts to click at that moment.
This could happen to me.
And and it just turns into this, now you actually do need to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
everything matters.
Everything matters. And the fact that they didn't do that at the beginning, they did it in the 9th episode
was crazy.
To really make you care about them. And the fact that you only care about them because they come from a world that looks like yours, it's just beautiful.
The reveal that really got me too is just that the teapot on his head is his version of an elephant costume. It's so fucking cute.
Yeah.
But like, Wirt is a kid who has a crush on a girl and doesn't know how to tell her how he feels, which like totally encapsulates everything we've seen from him as a pushover, as like this worry body. Like the whole show is like it's a kid learning to have a spine and learn how to stand up for himself, to have a bones
so
day
that
for
he
once
can
in his
actually
life.
go up and talk to this girl and ask her out, which he does at the end of the fucking show.
And the moment that ends that episode is them falling into the unknown, and what it turns out the unknown is them jumping out of the way of a train, tumbling down a hill and falling into a pond. A lake.
Over the garden wall.
They jump over the garden wall.
I
had that Leo DiCaprio me moment where I'm like, that's the title.
We gotta feel those in our show. Now you gotta give the even bigger spoiler, which is the truth, the emotional truth about the lantern, the beast.
That was wild too.
That was
so
crazy.
Wait, that wasn't the spoiler you guys were thinking of?
No.
Oh my god, that to me was way more fucking emotional than the fucking reveal.
I mean, that was also
world.
super dope.
I was like, oh my god, this whole time, this like man who we thought was like maybe gonna be the secret villain was keeping this lantern, like the woodsman. He's keeping it alive. He's killing people and making them into oil for a beast who's tricking him into believing that it's keeping the flame alive, which has his daughter's soul into it. And then he realizes my daughter was never there, and then the beast tries to kill Greg. This is happening in episode 10.
Yeah,
it's
that
an
is happening in
amazing
episode.
moment.
But
This is the
the
end.
beast's soul was in the lantern.
Exactly.
Which
And
is
then we
very
were like,
cool.
I'm going to put it out so that
Yeah.
All of the trees that he was churning into oil, which by the way,
Were
how fucking weird is
You
that?
very
can come
dark.
back, Miles.
We're children.
We're children.
Oof.
Who
And
got
that
lost in
makes
the
this,
woods.
and that's what I loved about this
But
show
the-
is that you didn't realize how fucked up it was until the last episode.
But the other thing is that, Miles, you might want to
You Miles, back out. No, this is good plot spoilers for anyone listening who doesn't want
That
to know.
wasn't 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The thing that I was gonna get upset about was that if I see that this whole thing was a dream in the modern world, I was
Right.
gonna be so mad. I was gonna be
Right.
like, what the fuck? No, don't betray the world that you built, the world building that you just did. And it just wasn't. That's just what is outside of their walls, outside of their modern world, because their stories still go on. Beatrice's family gets turned back from blue jays
Yeah,
or
because
bluebirds.
the witch.
She had the little
the scissors.
The scissors.
This is going to be so confusing to people who haven't heard watched the show.
Well, you see, there's scissors. If you cut the wings off, you become a human again. Yeah, it's very simple.
Very weird.
God, Auntie
Whispers is cool again. All kinds of stuff. Everybody's story wraps up in a really nice way,
and it packs a fuckload of emotion at the end.
At the end,
you're talking about that scene with the woodsman like deciding if he's gonna kill the beast or try and save his daughter. Like, I didn't tear up, but I thought about it.
Yeah. Because he's like, I'm not sure if her soul isn't here.
Yeah, and he takes a risk. He's like, and then he says this line. He's like, my daughter wouldn't have wanted this. He wouldn't have wanted me to keep killing kids to burn them for oil to save her soul.
Yeah.
You know what? He sold the fuck out of that line because Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, he can act. He's an actor.
Wait. Do you have any fun facts for this?
I got 2.
What?
Nice.
Miles, you can come back.
They're little.
He's
Hey,
back.
Miles, we're gonna do some fun facts. Hey. Fun facts. So the first is just kind of a message of inspiration, of perseverance.
Okay.
Because this show took 10 years from inception to get on air.
What?
It went through a lot. I mean, first of all, animation just in general takes a long time, but this guy had an idea. He worked his way into Cartoon Network. He made a short. I think that's the order that happened.
Yeah.
It got greenlit. It got picked up. Originally, it was actually going to go for 18 episodes, which I don't know if that, don't know.
I think it was supposed to be like their seasonal airing. Like they were just going to keep on airing different versions of like Over the Garden Wall or whatever during like this spooky season or whatever.
Interesting.
I could be remembering wrong.
Yeah.
Please.
But a decade to get to
That's about right, actually,
to
for, like,
carry this story. And that's how long stuff takes. But like, I don't know. It just made me like kind of
appreciate more. So this actually was made in the 90s, which makes the animation make a lot more sense.
There you go. No, I think it was 2004. He came up with the concept, and it aired in 2014.
Yeah,
2004 was a.
They probably drew that in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It actually kind of inspired me in a weird way. I'm like, you know what? Keep it up. Keep trying. If you have your idea that you're passionate about, that you believe in, keep fucking churning, man.
Yeah, eventually one of these streamers will pick up your stuff. Like,
but know that you're gonna get
Squid
700
Game
no's and you have to
Queen's
kill your
Gambit.
babies.
Yeah.
You're gonna waste a lot of fun. Oh,
I say don't kill them.
No.
I say keep on
like,
finding
know
a
how
way
to
to circumvent
know how to
it.
churn out content is what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
People who don't know the phrase "kill your babies" are like, "What the
So
fuck?"
confused.
Yeah, it's like, oh my
Okay,
God.
wait, but I have
We won't
something
explain it.
and it's kill your darlings.
No, something that
but whatever.
I always call it "kill your
that
babies."
relates to what you just said about perseverance, and this is maybe like a good little to anyone in the industry. Is our friend Curly Velasquez said this, where it's like he was always so fearful that he was wasting time, and then his mentor told him like, that's how you know you're doing it right, because quote unquote wasting time is exactly part of the process. Like, you have to make and create and forget and like redo and pull things out from the old G drive. Like, the wasting time is the growth and is the creative practice, and that's part of it. And so if you're out there feeling like you're just wasting time, you're not.
Maybe you are.
Okay. What's your second fun fact?
Second fun fact, there's a minor spoil in this, Miles, so just plug your ears real quick. The original intention when the boys fell into the water. Okay, Miles, you can come back. Well, actually, no, stay away. Was that the boys were dead.
Drowned.
That the unknown was the afterlife, and that the beast was trying to guide them
back home, back to
that
to
would have been
heaven,
a nice
right?
twist too, but I feel like I've heard
I
that before.
I would have hated that.
I think I would have liked it less.
Yeah, I would have hated that.
You can come back, Miles.
Yeah.
I think that they have the essence of that storyline, but they found just a more creative, inventive, weird, unique way to do it. Like, everything that the Beast is doing with the lantern and the oil, like, that is so much more specific.
Nuanced.
Yeah, and it's so much weirder.
It's so weird.
It comes from the world that you built. Like, follow your own rules. Don't try to make a new one at the end in a way to say that, oh, here's the twist ending, or here's the weird thing, blah 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 blah.
Well, it really was like the perfect story circle, just completely told out of order.
Out of order.
Like, it was all still there. All the pieces were still there.
It's beautiful.
It's just
a great journey.
This was
But we ended up in his spot finally at the end of
resting
the show.
on Garrick's supple
Penis.
crotch.
It's supple.
I'm not gonna do the. Thank you. I know that you wanted us to watch this for a long time, and I'm glad that I saw it. I feel richer for having seen it, and I know this Probably wasn't our most laugh out loud episode, but I hope you enjoyed listening.
Yeah,
to
but
us
we're
dive in.
thinkers.
We're
We're not
thinkers.
just fucking dick and fart jokes. We think.
No,
we got substance to us.
Sometimes we fart and it's not a joke. Sometimes we just
sometimes
fart.
you
You have a
fart
good
in
VO
the
voice too.
episode.
We don't. It's not dick and fart jokes. We have
We're
substance.
not just dick and fart jokes. We're people.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
And Zach farted in this episode, and it went into my mouth. And I feel like this show and this episode has brought us all closer.
There was one time thereafter where I laughed and I tooted a little bit because the pressure.
Guys, this part was so bad. I thought it was the dogs.
I've tried to blame it on Bowie. Maggie, don't buy it.
No, you know your friend's brand after a certain while.
Yeah.
Wait, but you gotta still let us rate it if it was a guilty pleasure or guilty pleasure.
Go ahead, Kelsey.
Don't make me go.
It's a I don't think there's anything
Yeah.
guilty about this.
There's
It's a
nothing guilty.
weird,
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah. And I think that the reason why you don't like it as much as we do is because you haven't watched as many cartoons.
Fair.
Because
okay.
it does
I
subvert
represent a
that
very important
expectation.
body of our audience,
Yeah,
which
fair.
is that people who may not want to give this a chance.
Yeah.
I think it's worth your time.
Hey,
Definitely.
yeah,
It's
right.
like it is really a Saturday afternoon cartoon moment. Don't expect like, I don't know. Right now I'm into this thing where like I reward myself at the end of the day with like an episode of Succession or like a Ted Lasso or like I'm going through the second season of You. I'm like rewarding myself. I think this shouldn't be a reward. It should be more like a cherry on top of your afternoon.
Yeah.
And maybe be microdosing or high while doing so.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, it's a pleasure. But don't make me say it again.
Triple P.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like something sexy.
Yeah. It
Triple
does.
P.
Triple P.
Miles knows when I'm going off the rails like long before it happens.
I think this whole episode has been your sale, but Garrick, if you would sell it to the people out there, what's your final word?
Over the Garden Wall is a true art piece. It is art in motion. It is writing art in motion. I have no idea how to truly articulate how this thing made me feel, but it really did make me want to throw out my scripts. It really made me want to throw out all of my like dirty jokes and all of this stuff because for whatever reason,
was wholesome.
this was funnier than a lot of episodes of like dirtier adult
Right.
animation shows that I've watched.
Yeah, that's a good
Simply off of a young boy's voice wearing a teapot thinking that he had an elephant on his head.
That's so cute.
You know what? And I would like to make an addendum because I have been using the word like bizarre because I don't know what else to call it. And that I don't think is right. It's not weird. It's just different.
It's
and
refreshing.
Beautiful. It's refreshing.
It's refreshing.
You do bring out a good point that it was wholesome as fuck. There was not
Yeah.
a single dirty joke. And we keep saying it's like dark, it's like crazy. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's not.
But you
It's
can-
very grounded.
You can reach all of those things without like being
But then I have to work
abusive
so
to your
hard.
audience.
Yeah.
And
But
bringing
that's
up
how
traumas.
That's how easy jokes come from.
Yeah.
Me. Don't make me do the work.
And that's fair, but it is much harder to write something wholesome and still be overwhelmingly
and
funny.
still have every third line be a joke.
No joke that I ever write will be as funny as him naming his frog Mr. Cucumber.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just
Right. Or like every name that he came up with. George Washington was his name for a while.
that was the one. That
Ward
was the one where I'm
Jr.?
like, huh.
Yeah.
So this is a world where George Washington
Exists, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
we brought it full circle.
That's
Yeah,
the one.
Yeah. That's where it tipped a lot of things, but yeah, didn't lead to them. I'm trying to avoid.
We got it. Yeah, just stop talking. We got it. Next week, it's happening. The moment that we've all been waiting for.
What?
Our good friend Ian Hecox is joining for us to discuss the cinematic horror Andrew Lloyd Webber's
Oh God.
Cats.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh, Bowie did not like that.
I'm sorry, Bowie.
Wow, it really full circled itself.
It full circed it. Guys, this has been Guilty Pleasures. I'm at Corn Day and all things.
I guess Cats can be a Thanksgiving movie. I'm Kelsey Darragh on all the things.
I'm Garrick Bernard and all of the things.
You know the way that like when you're forced to spend time with your family makes you feel? That's kind of like Cats.
Oh, I thought you meant this because I was like, I agree. Can you clap with your feet?
Kelsey, your phone tassel is really.
Oh no, does it look like a beaded vagina?
I was like,
Oh boy.
My
guess.
pants split.
I was worried.
I had a purple pussy.
It's like, oh no.
Till next time. Fuck you, Jason Funderburger.
Jason Funderburger.